In this Google Sheet tutorial, we are going to be creating a math fact checker where students can create a certain range of facts and then check themselves, or create a range of facts and give it or share it to somebody else to check their facts. And you can use this for multiplication, division, addition, subtraction, your choice. So the gist of this is that a student would click and put the answer to the fact. And let's say 2 times 8 is 16. I press enter, and if they are correct, the cell would turn green. And let's say 3 times 8, they think that is 21. If you press enter, it would remain red. So this is a way to self-check your facts and see if you're doing them right. I'm going to go over to a blank spreadsheet now and quickly take you through how this is created. And in the first column, we're going to create a 0 to 12 range. And you'll notice if I click and do this with 3 numbers, Google Sheets can establish a pattern. So I'm going to highlight over those 3 numbers, and then if I put my crosshairs in the corner and drag down, it will know that I'm counting by ones, and it'll do that for you. In the next column here, I'm going to put just an X for times, and Google Sheets doesn't really need a pattern for this, so I'm just going to click on that one cell, drag that down, and fill that in. On the next one, we're going to do our sixes here, so I'm going to type a 6, and if I only do one number, Google Sheets doesn't establish a pattern, it just leaves at that number, so that's 6. In column E, I'm going to put an equal sign, but if I just type equals, Google Sheets will get confused and think that I'm trying to do a formula. So in this one, I'm just going to fool it by putting a period and then an equal sign. And Google Sheets just thinks it's just text. So I'm going to drag and fill that as well. And then the last columns will be where my answers are. Now, the thing, of course, is to make this look nice, and I would be requiring my students to make this look nice as well. And I'm going to include column F because the answers are going to go there. So I want all of this to be centered. I want to put a grid around it. I want the font size to be a little bit bigger and bold. And then if you'll see on the other one that I did, I put a frame around it in color. I like to do that to establish make it look a little bit nicer and to where they're supposed to be putting the answers. All right, so the big thing is on these columns here, or these cells, we are going to be formatting these so that if an answer is a certain, if it's right, it will be green, and if it's wrong, it's red. So I'm going to click on this cell, and then I'm going to go to Format and Conditional Formatting, and you're going to see this pop up over here. So this applies to cell F2, and I'm going to choose a condition. If the text in the cell contains whatever the answer is, which is going to be 0, then I'm going to tell it to turn a certain color green. All right, so that's done. Now I want to tell it if it's not 0 what to do. So I click Add New Rule, and I say text does not contain a 0. I'm going to make that a different color, and you can choose any colors that you want. That's what you have to do for each one, and over here it sort of signifies what's going on with that. So right now it's red because it has nothing in there, so it doesn't have a 0, but if I type 0 in this cell and then press enter, it turns green. So let's do one more. I'm going to click on cell F3, add a new rule, say if the text contains 6, we're going to change the color to green, and then I'm going to add another rule that says that if the text does not contain 6, then we're going to make it a different color, red. And then we click done, and we test that out to make sure. We put a 3 there, it remains red. We type a 6 and press enter, it turns green. So that is basically how the conditional formatting works for your basic math checker.